For my final presentation, my topic is bride kidnapping. So in part one, which is the demographics of health issue affecting women, I'm going to be talking about the main issue, which is bride kidnapping and why it is such a main issue in the world today. And I'm going to explain how it affects certain demographics of women and why it does this, how it does this, whether it's their culture or just like the numbers overall. I'm going to answer the question of how bride kidnapping began and where did it start. So where did the root of the problem begin? How did it come about? And then I'm going to describe how some places have outlawed this practice, but not all countries, so it is still a prominent issue. I also want to explain how it can affect women in a physical and mental aspect, and what ways that bride kidnapping and being kidnapped can hurt them and their overall health, and how they can't maybe reach their full potential as women because of this issue. In part two, which is the demographics of countries, I'm going to focus on bride kidnapping in two main countries of Ethiopia and Kazakhstan. I'm also going to touch on other countries where these practices were outlawed, such as Kyrgyzstan. I'm also going to explore how these countries justify the practice through culture, religion, politics, etc., and their society as a whole. I'm going to include statistics on how many brides are kidnapped in these countries per year and what this means for women in general. So do they have to stop education to do this? Do they have to be taken away from their homes? Where do they go? Exactly. Do we know where they go? I'm also going to explore how many of these women deal with domestic violence, rape, and other crimes due to bride kidnapping. So a lot of the times, because they are forced into a situation, they may not feel comfortable and they may try to fight the situation, and in result, other crimes can occur. In part three, which is culture similarities and differences among women. So I'm going to compare and contrast cultures in which bride kidnapping takes place versus where it does not. So somewhere where it isn't necessarily a prominent issue at all and no laws need to be put in place. And then another place where it's outlawed now, but what made that change? And then obviously in places where there are no rulings against it and it is still a really big issue. I'm going to take note of specific communities and villages and their reasoning behind these practices, whether they have bride kidnapping or whether they do not, why. And then I'm going to understand and explain how this culture can impact women in negative and positive ways. For some cultures, they see it as a positive fix for women to be carried and taken care of by a man and undo that burden of having to pay a dowry, for example. I'm also going to further explain how the negative physical and mental effects can keep women from reaching their full potential. For example, in education, finding their own job and being independent, or being in good overall health. This can take a toll on them physically and mentally, and it really affects them and their bodies. In part four, ethical considerations and actions, I'm going to discover whether people are taking actions in these countries. Use examples of protests on local levels and larger government levels. So for the local levels within the villages, within the smaller communities, and for larger government levels in the bigger cities and the capitals and in the government, are they talking about this issue and what are they talking about? I also want to include countries that have outlawed the practice of bride kidnapping and see if it has stopped completely or not, and how the law is enforced on a local and a larger level, and what are the consequences for people who have participated in bride kidnapping in the past and for people who continue to do so. Is it strict? Is it not? I want to explain how women may be afraid to speak out, especially if this is a normalized practice in their culture, but how leaders can take action to help so that they have a safe place to seek refuge, a safe place to talk, resources in their community to go to. I want other countries to also who have outlawed the practice to help by visiting women and educating them possibly that this doesn't have to be their normal, that there is a way to take action and to be successful in taking this action and how they can do this, how they did it, and share those stories. So for part five, which is the summary and conclusion, I want to talk about what we can do in the future to stop bride kidnapping from continuing to happen. I want to rephrase what I feel are the most important parts of this presentation, which for me would be why bride kidnapping is such a large issue and the main effects on women health-wise and just overall, and the culture behind this practice. Why did it begin? Why is it continuing happening? And how we can stop this culture and improve it.